Hi everybody. I'm going to talk about some sketching stuff today. I think that our sketching practice we did on the alphabet of lines worksheet was helpful, and I think that the sketching that was done for the 3-view sketch with dimensions for the indirect measurement project was also helpful, although some people didn't pay attention to the fact that it was supposed to be a sketch. And I mean, it's nice to see that their drawings turned out nicely, but I really do want you to have some sketching experience. I think that's a valuable skill. It can help so many times to illustrate and communicate, and also to help you solidify your plans for basically anything, right? So a couple things that people talk about, as good techniques for sketching, and hopefully you can see this. If I can visualize a point over here and just start in my other place on the page, right here, and just try to kind of go straight to that other point, right? That turned out pretty nice. I'm not always so good at this. Just go straight across the paper to the other point, okay? So I want you to do that. Practice, try to practice. The idea is you don't want to just keep your arm still and just move your wrist. In this case, you want to try to swing your entire arm and get that straight line. Okay? Let's take a look at those. Okay, I'd like to see you do that about, whatever, 8 or 10 times, whatever fits comfortably on the page. Some straight lines across the page, right? Now here's what I don't want you to do. Don't be an overachiever. Don't get out a ruler and use it to make these. The objective is not to end up with straight lines on the page. The objective is for you to get the practice using the tool, right? Okay, so some straight lines on the page like that. Here's another thing you can do. If you need to make a curve, an arc or a circle, you can actually kind of use your hand as a compass and just pick a spot where I'm going to rotate my hand on this one spot, and I can kind of do like that and make a curved shape, right? It isn't particularly fabulous, although it can be helpful compared to simply trying to draw the curve freehand. Sometimes that works too, right? So I'd like to see you do a few of those. A little bit of curve action there. Right now, here's some tricks that can allow me to get a really nice result. If I have the edge of a piece, the edge of anything, like the edge of a book or the edge of a table, something like that. I happen to have using a drawing board here, but most of you probably don't have a drawing board, that's fine. But you can do the same thing really with anything where you've got a solid edge over here. And I can actually take my piece of paper here, and I'm going to set my finger so that this finger here rides on the edge of the board, and this pencil then lays at a certain distance on the paper. Say I want to make, and now of course in a sketch you probably wouldn't make a border line, but you might make some long straight lines. So I can do like this, and I can actually get some pretty straight lines if I can keep my hand up against the edge of the board and do like this. That helps if I've gotten, now I messed up just there a little bit. I didn't have my paper lined up evenly with the edge of the board. Okay. And you can see there, that can give you some pretty nice straight lines. I think you can see it, right? Okay. That's one way to do it. Now here's a cool trick too. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make my border line around here like this. This will be cool. Right? Border line, border line. Like that. That looks pretty nice. And I'm going to draw a circle. The best circle you can get is when you take two pencils like this, and you're going to kind of try to get them in your hand just right. And look at that. I can create my own compass. Right? I'm going to pick one of these to be the center of the circle, or it can be a circle or an arc or whatever. Pick the center right here and keep that still on the page. Bring the other one down against it. Now, instead of me trying to rotate my hand to make a circle, I can just hold this in place. Okay, now watch what I'm doing here. Hold this in place, make sure I'm keeping a little extra pressure on the center point so it doesn't move. And this one's just enough pressure to draw, and I can just rotate the page all the way around, and I get a pretty nice circle that way. Okay, and hopefully you can see that. I know it's hard for me to tell looking at this little tiny screen. Okay, so then what I want you to do then is make a few circles, maybe like make concentric circles. Oh dear, I was making concentric circles till I picked the wrong center. Let's try that again. Okay, make this a little smaller. Try really hard to keep my hand steady so the circle, stays the same size the whole time. It's really easy to just let it move a little bit, and then it's no longer a nice, neat circle. Well, it's still probably neater than just doing it freehand, right? All right, take a look at that. Again, I messed up once because I picked the wrong center when I started that second circle, but you can see I made some circles, right? So some straight lines, some curves, and some circles. Okay, and then let's do something else here. I want to make a sketch of this object, right? Now, of course, I could just plunk it down on the page and trace the thing. That would be kind of cheating, right? But it is reasonable for me to kind of sit here and sort of rough it out a little bit too, you know, like, okay, I'm going to go like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. Then I can go across from this and sort of say, well, it'll be there, 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 right? 1, 2, 4. That would be the right side view. That, and the top view will be like this. Some nice straight lines here for the, like that. Okay, and then we'd have these lines here, 1, 2, 3 lines like that, right? Okay, so far you can see a light sketch there of that object, 3-view sketch. And I'll go ahead then and darken those lines in, and hopefully I can do a good job of making a sketch here. And the thing with a sketch, you know, is it doesn't have to be perfect. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect, but if it's good enough to get the point across, to convey the information, then that can be very helpful. Okay. If I either don't have drawing tools handy, or if I just want something to illustrate an idea quickly, right, like that. That can be very valuable. If I was trying to describe this object to somebody just using words, I could probably do an okay job, but this is just so much more thorough and so much clearer to another person. Even if I've got a great concept of this in my mind, if I can put it down on paper like this, that's way better for telling somebody else. Now, the last one I'm going to do is what's called an oblique sketch. I'm going to actually try to achieve a little bit of three-dimensional appearance, right? So we'll go like this. All right. So I'm doing a front view. See, now I messed this up, didn't I? So I got, oh yeah, okay. I see what I got here. Let me try to fix this a little better. I'm off just by a little bit. Right. Okay. So basically what I did was construct a front view of the object. Now, in order to make an oblique drawing, I'm going to try to draw angles from each of these corner points. I'm going to try to use the same angle. This is about I think that's probably about a 45-degree angle. If we were using drawing tools, we'd pick a specific angle and be very consistent about it. Okay, now I go along here and connect these. And now we have the pictorial drawing that gives the illusion of 3 dimensions. The oblique drawing is the easiest kind to do. And the oblique drawing is unique in that you get this full size and shape front view. And then the other dimensions tend to be distorted, right? But you can still communicate to a viewer, a little bit of what you have in mind. This is not bad, and particularly if you're dealing with someone that understands 3-view drawings, this is a good way to do it. This can also be very helpful as an illustration technique. And of course, there are times when you would actually draw this using instruments too. But this is, remember, right now, we are sketching. Sketch, right? Sketching. Notice I have not picked up a ruler, right? I've not gotten a compass out. I haven't used the computer to do this. I got a piece of paper and a pencil. And I'm doing my best to just use my own ability to draw a straight line, right? Okay. So the assignment is to do, what I'd like you to do is draw some straight lines, draw some curves, draw some circles, and finally draw a 3-view sketch of this object. Okay, and this object, let's be clear now, this object is 6 inches long, 4 inches tall, and each of these is a 1-inch space. 1 inch up, 1 inch over, 1 inch up, 1 inch over, 1 inch up, 1 inch over, right? Like that. And the board is 3/4 of an inch thick. So 4 by 6 by 3/4 with each of these 1 stair step, 2 stair step, 3 stair steps. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4 rises, right? To get each of these is an inch, right? So that should be pretty simple. Okay, so 3-view sketch of this, as well as those practice lines and curves and circles, and that should be a pretty easy assignment. Okay, thanks for watching.